to the Spotlight, ladies and gentlemen. I am Nick Candela alongside Becca Friedman. How you doing this time around, Becca?
Pretty good, Nick. I'm excited for this show. It should be a good one.
Absolutely. I'm always excited. We've got a great show lined up for you. We've got comedian James Craven in studio.
It's good to see him again.
Absolutely. A great performance by George Morris coming up in the later end of the show. And obviously, to kick things off, we're going to do what we always do, and that's toss it to the wheel. So, wheel, take it away. And the crowd goes wild. This time around, it's a buzz segment.
It is.
And if you don't know what the buzz is, it's basically something awesome happened in the city of Warren. And obviously, if something awesome is happening, the spotlight was there.
Yes.
And this one's actually really cool because the city of Warren's residents actually made this happen.
It's true.
We had a couple cool guests in the city of Warren. Let's check it out.
We're at City Hall where Channel 955's Mojo in the Morning is making a stop on their town tour. It's a little early in the morning for Nick though, so I'm here by myself. Let's go see what's going on.
We're live this morning from Warren. It is our town tour.
We started town tour so that we can get out in the neighborhoods that listeners, are from, so that they didn't have to come to us. We want to come to them. And Warren, record amount of votes for the town tour. We had tens of thousands of votes from people that live in Warren wanted us to come here.
And not only votes, it was so crazy to see all of the people that were here today. I mean, we easily had 1,000 people here this morning when we got here this morning, which was crazy.
We're not used to having people look at us at 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
So, I would have worn more makeup.
Yeah.
I know.
I actually had to wear makeup.
I am wearing makeup.
The weather's perfect, the people are so nice. It was just a fun day to get out of the studio and do something great, and Warren's always so receptive to us, so it's nice to come out.
And this is such a beautiful place to broadcast from, too, and it's so centrally located. It was awesome for the listeners who take 696 to work every day to be able to jump off the freeway and come by and see us.
And now that we've been here, we discussed maybe building a water fountain in front of our own studio that we can play in as we do commercial breaks.
Lean back.
We had a lot of fun hanging out with Mojo in the Morning today, and it sounds like they had a lot of fun in Warren too. Well, that's the buzz for now at City Square.
For more info on anything you've seen during the buzz, or any comments at all, visit us on our Facebook page.
Well, it looks like you had a great time down there at City Hall.
There were a lot of people there. It was a lot of fun. Mojo and the whole crew were awesome.
And I want to thank you for going down there.
Of course.
For the people who know, I certainly need my beauty rest.
So I was still there.
Absolutely. Well, you need less beauty sleep than I do, so we'll just leave it at that. But stick around. We got a great rest of the show coming up for you. James Craven live in studio. Stick around. The Spotlight will be right back.
Thanks for calling the GED Pep Talk Center. Jerry Siller speaking. Your level 7 in-your-face pep talk.
I can keep pushing. Believe me, I'm good at it.
Once you've got your GED diploma, you'll feel so good about yourself.
You tell him.
Mr. Trejo, can I transfer this guy to you? He needs something a little more
Persuasive.
Yes.
Whatever motivation you need, we've got a pep talk for you. Get your GED pep talk and find free classes at yourged.org.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. But it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello? That's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
Welcome back to the Spotlight. As promised, we have James Craven back on the show.
Yep.
Thanks again for coming out here.
Thanks for having me. It's been about a year since I've been here, so.
Absolutely, and we've been following you ever since and know that you've been up to some pretty cool things, and that's why we invited you back on.
Thank you. Yeah.
Now, when we did talk last time, we briefly talked about this book here, The Love, Coping, and Compassion, Conquering My Son's Cancer. This was kind of in the works last time we talked to you.
Yep.
And here I am now, about a year later, holding the book in my hand. So that's got to be a great feeling for you.
It is. It was a tough story to tell. I mean, when my son was diagnosed with cancer, it's been 2 years now, and he's been a year and a half in remission. And the book originally started out as a blog that I was keeping it online for friends and family and stuff like that. But so many more people got involved, with it, and wanted to know more about the story. So I turned it into the book, and it details from the day he was diagnosed to the day we got the great news that he was in remission.
That's wonderful. And obviously, hearing the news of remission is obviously the goal for anybody going through something like this. And now, since the book is out, you've kind of become almost like a spokesperson for exactly what you and your son went through. You've done some speeches elsewhere?
Done quite a few speeches. We did the Robbie J. Atherton Foundation here in the Macomb County area. We did that one. I've also been a big part of Relay for Life, where I've done some speeches for them, as well as attend Relay for Life in Rochester. So we've become very involved with a lot of stuff. Rainbow Connection in Rochester is another one who gave Alex his wish trip back a year ago in February.
Where'd you guys go?
He wanted to go swim with the dolphins. So we went to Florida. He got to swim with the dolphins in Discovery Cove, and we spent a week at Disney World and all the parks down there. So that was pretty cool. I mean, the highlight was the dolphins. Alex wants to be, my son wants to be a marine biologist.
Very cool.
So for him to do that was his biggest thing he could do.
Well, that's really, sounds great. I mean, I can kind of relate. I mean, when I was younger, the marine biologist thing was in the back of my mind. I mean, and I think what it really was is I kind of wanted to live in Florida near the water, and said, okay, what's kind of a job that I can do down there? And I'm not a scuba diver by any means, but if I can get near the water anyway, might as well get paid to do so.
Well, that's his way of thinking. That's what he's like. He's like, I'm interested in animals, and he keeps telling me, he says, well, we're gonna have to move to Florida eventually. So
right, exactly. Like the snowbirds. We got plenty of the snowbirds right here in the city of Warren, and if they're watching, hopefully they're watching online from Florida, watching us here on TV Warren. So,
right.
Now you've done, not only the book, but you've started your own production company now, and you're starting to produce your own shows and things like that?
We have our own production company, Craven Comedy Productions. Since my background is in comedy, doing stand-up comedy and writing, we produce a lot of comedy shows around in the area and for different events and fundraisers and stuff. So it keeps me connected. I don't perform as much as I used to because when Alex got sick, it was just hard to be out of town. But we have a club in Mount Clemens called Monty's that we do fundraisers at. We have a big summer comedy series that we put together that we're winding down here in August, but we still got some great shows coming up for that. Then me, Alex, and my two other kids, Courtney and Ryan, they're my big inspiration for a lot of my writing. So about a year or so ago, we started a web series called Father of the Year, which is a lot of great advice, I guess you could call it.
Somewhat advice.
Somewhat advice. It's the advice that you wish your father would have gave you, but it's not always the best.
What's the delivery? Is the delivery, how you wish you would have given them the advice?
Yeah.
Or is it kind of the advice that you never got? I mean,
it's probably a combination of both. I mean, parents have a tendency of sugarcoating stuff.
Right.
I am not one of those parents. I am one of the parents who will tell you how it is, whether you want to hear it or not. But my kids are the same way. My kids feed off of me. So it was fun to do the series. It was just me and Alex doing the series as far as acting and writing for the most part. But it was fun to see his sense of humor and how he perceives me. And he ad-libbed quite a bit, and he's a natural, but I could never get him on stage to do anything in front of a group of people. It's my dream to see him do it, but he won't.
Well, you were telling me, when you were young, public speaking wasn't exactly your forte, so you never know what's going to happen in the years to come here.
No, that's true. I mean, it wasn't. I was scared to death of public speaking, but now, it's not unheard of for me to get in front of, a group of 100, 200 people and tell jokes or tell speeches, and it's, you come a long way. You battle your fears, and They do get out a little bit. I mean, I've noticed in their public speaking in school when they gotta give a speech.
Okay.
They do pretty well. They don't fumble around as much as I did when I was a kid. They get to the point.
So they're learning from your mistakes, and possibly taking on a better route to the top. Then is how we'll say it.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, well that's a good thing.
Right.
You don't always need to follow in the footsteps.
No,
You walk next to the
no,
footsteps.
no.
Some wise man once told me that one time. I don't know. I don't know too many wise men, so that's why I make a lot of mistakes myself.
Like I tell my son Alex, he's got the same size shoe I do. I said, you have the same size shoe I do and same size foot. I said, but you got a lot to fill in those shoes. So.
Exactly. Now, you talked briefly about the summer series with the comedians. What comedians will we see at the events like this? Are they amateur, professional?
They're a mix of both. We have a lot of great local talent this weekend. We have the Laugh Riot Dolls. They're a local talent. They've been around for a while, and but we've had some headliners come in, like Lachlan Patterson, who's been on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno. He's been on Tosh.0. We just had him recently. Coming up, we have one of the top 10 underground comics on August 23rd, which is The Disgruntled Clown.
Okay. Yes, I've seen the posters.
6.5 feet tall of clown. So it's
and it's not just any clown, a disgruntled
clown.
Clown, okay.
So that'll be pretty fun. I got great support from a lot of guys, not just guys, but a lot of comedians in the Detroit area to do this because they know I'm trying to do as much as I can to get them work and try to get their name out there as much as I can. So with every series or every show, you're always worried about what size crowd you're going to get or how it's going to be perceived. And I would have to say, mildly, it's been pretty successful. Would I like to see it more successful? Yeah, but it's our first year doing it, and it's in downtown Mount Clemens, and we're trying to bring entertainment back there. I mean, when I was a kid, Mount Clemens was a place to hang out. But over the years, it's kind of got the reputation of maybe not going there so much. But we're trying our best to get people there for a different reason.
Okay.
Come out there for an hour and a half of laughing and have a good time and, just get out.
Absolutely. And, I mean, entertainment in general. A lot of people in the area, maybe they don't have that extra income like they used to have. So, like you said, just take, an hour out of your day.
And, and the shows are expensive. They're anywhere from $10. I mean, we even have some free shows.
Okay.
So, so we understand, the economy is not what it used to be or what it should be. And so we try to make it to where everybody could come out. We don't want to overprice things to where they won't come out. But my main thing is to get people to come out.
Exactly.
Have fun.
Now, is there, we talked about the Love, Coping, and Compassion book. Is there another book?
There is another book.
Out there that you'd like to talk about?
Yep. There's a book called I Told My Kids. It goes along the same lines of what the Father of the Year series does. It's all the fun advice that I've given my kids over the years, versus, my youngest one's going to, potty training my boys and peeing into the toilet to giving my daughter advice on how to handle a mean girl at school.
Okay.
Some of it's just basic Father of the Year material, or Father of the Year material, really. It's stuff that I've used on stage, but it's also things that I've told my kids throughout their, my oldest one's going to be 16 in October. So there's a lot of advice in there.
Yeah.
But I have to say I have a great relationship with all three of my kids. I mean, that's what makes it fun. And they get involved in what I do. They like that I do comedy. They like that I write. So they like that they get involved with the writing. So
have they? Now I know you said that your son doesn't really like to speak out in public, but do they think comedy might be something that they might follow in your footsteps?
I don't think so. It just worries them to get in front of a group of people right now, but they're young. But they like the attention that we've gotten from writing and from being in the web series and stuff like that. So they like that, but I don't know how far they would pursue it. My daughter wants to be something more behind the scenes type of person.
Okay, so maybe
so she wants to take that route. She wants to be in cosmetology doing film makeup and stuff like that.
Very cool.
So that's what her hope and dream is to do. Where I said Alex earlier wants to be a marine biologist. And my youngest one, he just wants to be happy. So
just wants to be a kid now.
He's 10, and let him be a kid.
Very cool. Now, what are some of the, some ways that we can maybe get a hold of you, maybe book you for shows, or maybe if there's comedians out there looking for work, maybe they can get a hold of you?
We have a new website called cravencomedyproductions.com. All the information's on there. You could find booking information, contact information for our whole team that's on there. The schedule that we have for shows that are coming up.
Okay.
And you know, the information that we plan on doing. I mean, we have a lot of plans for the future and what we want to do. I mean, it's not all necessarily just comedy shows in general. We've recently talked about setting up an independent film festival for, you know, there's a lot of independent film people here in Michigan.
Absolutely.
That would like to get a lot of publicity and a lot of, you know, face time for that. You know, we put the Stand Up for Mount Clemens Summer Comedy Series for this year. I like to think bigger. And with Detroit being the way it is right now, just filing for bankruptcy in Detroit, everybody wants to be behind Detroit. They want to get behind it and see it, because we all go down there, baseball games, football games, and, you know, some of the nightlife. And we're hoping by 2015 we could bring Detroit Comedy Festival to downtown Detroit and call it Stand Up for Detroit.
That would be great. Now, when you were talking film festival, you know, we got a little setup here in Warren. We have Film Warren right here in Warren, so maybe we can do some talking off screen here, and hopefully we can bring something to the city of Warren. That'd be great.
I mean, that would be great. I mean, the more people we could get involved with it, the better. I mean, you know, the city of Warren would be a great place to start because you guys already have a lot of setup for it. So, you know,
third biggest city in the in the state. So, I mean, we saw earlier on in this show the residents of Warren brought in 95.5 and Mojo in the morning to our city. So, you know, if we can bring, you know, something big like that, I don't see why an indie movie film would
people are still filming here for the big films. I mean, you got Transformer 4 filming downtown Detroit. You have, you know, so there's, you know, Mark Wahlberg was just on TV talking about how much he loves filming in Detroit.
Exactly, and Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah, Jimmy Fallon, the same thing. You know, talking about the barbecue place down, you know, down in Detroit and stuff. You know, so there's a lot of great things going on, and you know, I'm a big East Side guy. I grew up here on the East Side. I mean, I grew up, you know, I lived in Warren, I lived in Sterling Heights, I've lived in Clinton Township, so I've been all over on the East Side. So I'm an East Side guy, but I'm a Michigan guy too. I want to see things from Michigan get the publicity it's supposed to get, and get people out there who are supposed to see it. I mean, there's a lot of great things going on in the entertainment industry that I don't think gets enough press, and I'm just a small fish in a big pond when it comes to it, but I want to do as much as I can.
Absolutely, and we appreciate everything you're doing. You know, I want to thank you once again for being on the show, taking time out of your busy schedule. Again, Love, Coping, and Compassion, Conquering My Son's Cancer, written by none other than James Craven himself, alongside the other
book is called I Told My Kids.
Okay.
And you can get that online as well.
And obviously Father of the Year as well.
Father of the Year, yep.
Thank you so much for being on. I want you to stick around. There's more Spotlight coming right up. Don't go anywhere.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born, and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Cracked out a secret found their way out
Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. Go to discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back to the Spotlight. As always, we'd like to thank our guest, James Craven, for taking time out of his busy schedule to come talk with us today. Good luck in everything you have going on. Now, let's toss things over to Becca Friedman, who's been working hard herself, trying to find all the great events around the city of Warren and around town in a little segment we like to call The Word. Becca?
Hi guys, I'm Becca and here's the word. Remember way back on our very first episode when we got to interview Cherie Curry from the Runaways? Well, now she's heading out on a solo tour. She'll be making a stop here in Michigan on August 8th at the Magic Bag. Tickets are only $18 and visit themagicbag.com for more info on it. August 17th, Macomb Bike and Fitness is having their Pedal for Paws. Check-in is at 9 o'clock and the ride departs at 10. There are 3 routes that you can choose from and a $20 donation will include lunch. You can register in person or online at macombike.com. And while you're at Macomb Bike and Fitness, make sure to check out the art that's on the building as part of the DIA's Inside Out project. Coming up August 23rd through 25th is Warren's birthday bash. As usual, there will be tons of stuff going on all weekend long. Some of the highlights include music, food, a carnival, fireworks, and our favorite, the racing pigs. For more info on the bands playing and a schedule of events, visit cityofwarren.org. And while you're at it, you can enter to win wristbands for the carnival rides by going to Parks and Recreation's Facebook page at facebook.com/WarrenParks. And don't forget, there are concerts every Sunday at City Square and outdoor movies on Thursdays. The concerts start at 7 o'clock, and don't worry if it's raining, they'll just move the show inside to the City Hall atrium. The outdoor movies start dusk, and they're only weather permitting. That's the word for now. Back to you, Nick.
Thank you, Becca. Great job, as always.
Oh, thank you so much, Nick.
No problem. Speaking of doing a great job, as always, we've got a great musical performance for you. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, here's George Morris with his song, Call Girl.
My lungs are an animal. I smoke my ambitions, and we all turn tricks for you. And we all got sick. My heart is a buffalo. The heart's my affection. Yeah, my heart is a buffalo that attracts your attention. And we all turn tricks for you. Oh. And we all got sick. I know.
Well, that was George Morris with Call Girl. You can see him live on August 17th at the Loving Touch with one of our favorite past musical guests, the Hand Grenades. Or you can check him out online at georgemorris.bandcamp.com.
And he also just dropped a new album, so make sure you check that out also on his Bandcamp. But that's going to do it for us this time around.
Yep.
You know, next month we got the birthday bash, so we're very excited. We love birthdays here on the Spotlight. But as always, if you have any ideas for the show, comment, just want to drop in and say hello, make sure to visit us on our Facebook page at facebook.com/tvwarren.the Spotlight, and yes, we will continue doing that until further notice. But until this time, Becca, it's time to say goodbye, and also, yep, see you next month, and it's lights out. Until next time, thank you for watching.